I know you all love a good kit video, so it's about time I posted one. This one is about 3 different top brand vests. Basically, I'm going to do a review on the INOV8 Race Ultra Pro 2-in-1. I've got the UD Mountain Vest 5.0, and fresh out the box I've got the Salomon Advanced 12 set. The difference with this video is I've worn them, I've done ultras in them, well, all of them apart from the Salomon. I'm going to do that this weekend and next, but I'm going to give you some good tips, some things I like, I don't like, basically the good, the bad and the ugly. Right, so I think really what you've got to do firstly is think about what you're actually going to put into your vest. And I've printed out a compulsory kit list for quite a simple 100 miler. It's the A100, which I'm doing in a couple of weeks, next weekend actually. And I just thought I'd show you what is going to go into one of these vests, and then I'm going to pack them each individually, and then I'll sort of see how they feel, and we'll talk a bit about them. So basically you need a mobile phone. This is the largest iPhone I can get, so that's going to go in the pack. I'm going to take my GoPro because I like filming stuff. Got my headphones, which I'll plug in at some point in my Ultra. I don't usually run with music, but I do love a bit of music, a bit of Underworld to be fair. About 80 miles when you're in the race, when it's dark, when it's moody, when you're in the woods. Nice bit of tunage, goes down well. Bit of anti-back, bit of a big bottle, but I take that anyway. Cup, compulsory. Get one of these, See from Summit, great little cups. Pop up, pop down, really solid. These ones, rubbish. They just don't work. You grab hold of them, spill, especially if you're going to get a hot drink, whereas these are great. Nice and structured around the edge. Water bottles, we got those. You need a litre of water. Some gloves. These are waterproof gloves. I don't usually wear the thin gloves. I find them a bit pointless, they just get wet, so I'll take some nice warm mitts. Don't really need those. I always take a first aid kit with me. In there's got everything I need to help someone or help myself. Toilet roll. Probably take wet wipes as well. Definitely helps out, a bit more comfortable. A bit more toilet roll there. You need to take a hat or a warm hat, so I take 2 buffs. I have one round my wrist, which I use for mopping up the sweat, and I keep that one dry so I can switch over halfway through the race. Lights, you need 2 light sources. This is my main Petzl Neo light. Probably take another battery with it as well. Problem with these, quite heavy, but even so, you need a decent light, and these lamps are really good. And then you need a secondary source light, over 25 lumens. This is like a little Petzl one, so I put that in. I'll probably put that in the actual little case it has with it as well, but I couldn't find that at the moment. Survival blanket, very important. You need a certain size. Check out the notes, it will be in there. What else we got? Waterproof jacket, something over 10,000. This is a Montane Minimus, beautiful. It packs even smaller down. I won't run with trousers, you can get those as well, but I might take them there. I've got a pack of them, they're really small, but they're not compulsory, but I take that. I put everything into a waterproof bag. Again, just keeps everything dry from the back, from your sweat, because if you sweat a lot, it'll get everything wet inside. And we got the mask as well. Got to take a mask. The only thing I haven't got out here is my nutrition, and I'll add that to the pack in a little bit. So that's everything I'm going to put in each pack. Okay, so this is the INOV8. Okay, it's in its race mode. I've got my it's got basically 2 water bottle systems, which I really like. It's got one which runs underneath, it's like a sling. This is great, and they just sit just on the side here. They're out the way, you can almost rest your arms on them, and it's a nice movement. They're really good. I kind of switched to that because I didn't like these bottles on top just bouncing around all the time. It caused me a lot of friction, got in the way. I didn't like that, and that gives you access to a few more pockets. So I've got my mobile phone in here, I've got my GoPro. What else have I got? I've got my buff, I've got my mask, and I've got my gels. And you've got these kangaroo pouches here, so you get some good bit of food in here. But this kind of is set up now for, I haven't got everything in here, right? Because you get this other bag with it, which is 10 litres, and that's full of all the other kit. And as you can see, I've got loads of room left in there, which kind of is a bit of an issue because, you know, you want everything to be tight and all nice and fitting. However, this is ideal for me because I can go out for a 2.5 hour run, got all my gear, got my water, happy days. Right, let's put that pack on the back. Right then, now fully loaded. As you can see, it's got the pack on the back, it's got everything in it, all the gear. It's very nice. I really like it, it's really comfortable. There's plenty of room. This is a small to medium. I'm 5'9", 5'10". I'm quite a slim build, but they do different sizes. I worry if I was a small, because when I've worn this, once you sort of drink all your water and things start to shrink, you know, you have less stuff in it, you do then end up having to tighten it up quite a bit. However, you know, it's that saying, for me, it's ideal. It's really comfortable on the shoulders. I've had no issues there. Things are quite good to get to. They always say you need to know where everything is in your pack when you're running, and if you can get that sort of discipline going, that is really, really helpful. The way it's been made, as I said, I've done 2 ultras in this and it's lasted really well. There's kind of a bit of a rub here, a bit of a hole, but I'm not going to, you know, make a complaint out of that because I've used it really well. I would say that the mobile phone seated here is probably not ideal. I've got a waist belt now which I wear, one of those naked ones, they're brilliant, and I put my mobile phone in there. It just keeps it away from in here, and also I can get it out quite quickly, so that's quite useful. But back to the pack, you've got these bungee kind of arrangements here, and I'm not a fan of those, I've got to say. They kind of are really difficult to do if you're running. I'm not the greatest of I don't have the greatest of eyesight, so looking down on trying to get these to work when you're running is really hard, and what happens is they sort of come undone and you're like, oh, what are we doing, you know, and you end up having to take your pack off. And one of the biggest decisions for me in wearing a pack is I don't ever want to really take it off for as little as possible, especially when you're getting really, really tired. The last thing you want to do, you know, you just can't be bothered to stop, so you want everything kind of at hand. So these haven't been very useful for me, and I wish they'd sort of come up with some better design on those. The other sort of feature which I was disappointed with is they've got these, again, these elasticated bands here, and they kind of stretched really quickly, and that basically makes that bounce up and down, and when I'm running it knocks on my collarbone here, and that has been really, really annoying. So what I have to do is I have to then try and grab that and put that over there like that, and as you can see, it ain't working that well. However, the solution is to wear your bottles up here, but again, I wasn't a fan of that, so that's one of the big downsides of this pack. What else is there? You can adjust these, you can pull these off and adjust the height there. If you wear, like I do, a HRM, you know, heart rate monitor belt, they can get in the way and again rub, I mean, so that's not so ideal. They've got plenty of pockets. It comes with 8 pockets. I feel like there's too many pockets because you don't know where everything is. As I said, I've got my gels in here, nice and easy. I've got these big pouches back here. They're brilliant. You know, you can get big bars in there, and they have lasted really well. Actually, they're better if you've got some bits, you know, bits in there, you know, and that fills it out. I always find a pack is, I mean, these packs are designed for, you know, ultra racing. They're not designed for just going out for that quick hour, you know, hour, 2 hour run. They're designed to hold quite a lot of kit, especially if you're going to do one of these big mountain races. The kit list is quite large. You do need trousers and jackets and things like that, and you may want to take more stuff than what they actually tell you to do. So this is really important. What else? Yeah, poles. So obviously doing sort of local races, nothing too strenuous, we got poles. You know, I wouldn't take poles normally, but if I'm doing a mountain race, I will always take my poles. So let's get these fitted onto here. So there's one way you can do it. That's on the back, but yeah, not quite sure about that. Don't know where they are, but then when you're running, you know, everything's nice and secure, they're not bouncing around. But you need your poles to hand, so I don't think putting them there is the great idea. The other way is this way. I've got to say that was quite a performance getting these on. I don't know. These bungee cords are not brilliant, and I'm on there now. They're quite secure. But you're not going to be able to take these off quickly. Not in a. When I did the lakes in the day, your hands, you can hardly use your hands. You're so cold, so you're going to have to take that pack off. You're going to have to put them on, and then start running with it again. A lot of the time, the CCC, I always had my poles on. So I carried my poles all the time. There wasn't one at one point in the race where I didn't want my poles. So that sort of works out okay for these packs. But I guess they are designed to take your poles securely, so it gives you the option. The other way of doing it, again, go back to my naked belt. They have two little loops at the back, and you can hold them on the back there, which I think is probably my preferred version, because then you can get them off quite quickly. Anyway, back to this pack. So the ugly part there is good. Like it, used it a lot, enjoy it. There are always going to be little niggles and things you don't like about a pack, but the worst thing for me, the ugly part, is these bottles. I love the sling idea, but they're a nightmare when you want to get them out and refill and then slide them back in, especially with these on. It's just not going to happen. So what happens is you take your pack off, you have to then slide the bottle in, faff around trying to jig it down to the bottom, then you get these in. It just takes too long, and for that reason I then have looked for other packs, hence why I'm going to review these three. Okay, so that's probably my ugly part of it. Otherwise, overall, if you want the bottles there, that would be fine. But I'd say it's a great pack. I feel like I'm about to go out for a mountain ultra, to be fair. So that's my review, just practical side of things on the INOV8 Race Ultra Pro 2-in-1. Right then, this is the UD vest, the mountain vest 5.0. 5.0. It's pretty new to me. I've run 50k in it. What did I think? I've got to say, first of all, it's really nice and comfortable. It doesn't feel like there's a lot on compared to the INOV8. The INOV8's kind of just feels there's a lot more going on with it, whereas this is the lighter of the three packs. It's something like 230 grams when there's nothing in it, and it does feel really lightweight. The first thing, which obviously the difference is the way I'm holding the bottles, you don't get that choice. So I've got the bottles at the front. It's got nice pockets for your gels, things like that. You put your buffs and your little gloves if you carry that sort of stuff in here. What else? These are really nice. So the clips are very strong. They adjust quite nicely. One thing which I don't like, or I'd prefer if they had a little a little gripper here like the INOV8 does, because now I've got to sort of clip them up. I've got this floating around, so I'm going to have to tie this up here. It's a bit annoying. This is a medium. Should I have gone for a small? Maybe, not sure. Got fitted out in a shop, so I was hoping I'd get the right size, but it just feels maybe a bit too big. The bottles, they've sorted these out. I've got this little sort of elasticator to stop them from bouncing around. You can fit that over the top. The bottles are different to my old UD vest. These are a bit more structured. The problem I had with the old bottles is after a while the thread went on them, so they're a bit of a nightmare when you used to do them up. These are a lot more substantial. Yeah, pretty good. However, the problem I had, and this is a big problem for me, is when I'm running, and you can drink out of them like this, to be fair. I mean, you probably switch them around so the angle of the teat as such is facing towards you. Might be better design, which I did in the end, but getting these back in is a nightmare. It just doesn't work, so you've got to take that out, push them back in, do that, put these back in. So as soon as you start putting things in the front here, it makes this awkward getting them in, and that for me is a real big problem with this vest. It's a real shame. The back of it is really smartly designed. Again, it holds, I think it's 13 litres, 12, 13 litres, something like that. It's an all-in-one system. What I really like about it, I'll unclip it, is the zip. It's a nice zip system, so it's like a little mini backpack, and if you're really get it designed, it's well worth. One tip I'd say if you're looking at a pack is go on all the websites and do some good revision on it. It teaches you how to pack this up, because I didn't realise this until today, because I just thought I'd have a good look, is you can actually I wonder what these clips were for, and I now know why. You clip these round and it tightens everything up inside. And I think that is brilliant. That is a really good design, that, so there's less bounce. I've got to say, it's very, very comfortable. I mean, internally you can have a bladder system as well, so it's got all the hooks. It's the same with the all the 3 systems I'm going to review. Yeah, it's a nice bit of kit, and yeah, I was very impressed with it. But for me, I think it might be a showstopper is the fact that you can't get these bottles in, you know, if you've got loads of kit here and everything like that. But yeah, there we go. That's the UD vest. What I thought about it. Getting poles in. Let's have a look at how we get these poles in. Right then, there we go. Got the poles in. So they're elasticated. Pretty neat that. That was a lot easier than the INOV8 pack, I must say. They've actually got a little button. You pull that off. Look, that unclips. Now, trying to get that back on. That will be a good thing or a bad thing. Let's have a look and see if I can get that on. Nice. Pretty neat. It's got a few little pockets up here. I guess for your salt tablets and things like that. Yeah. Good little vest that. I like that. It's nice and comfortable, and again, it's quite minimal. And that's, for me, something I do like. But yeah, there we go. That is the UD vest Mountain 5.0. And finally, certainly not least, is the Salomon Advanced 12 set. This one I'm most excited about because I've just bought it, and yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. I haven't tested it for a run yet, I haven't worn it at all. So if you've been watching my vlog, I'm going to be doing the virtual London Marathon tomorrow with some mates, and then the week after I'm doing the A100. So I'm going to cut this video short. I'm going to run with this tomorrow, and I'm going to give you guys an update and what I think, and then we'll look at all 3 packs again and then decide on really which one's which. But as you can see, they're difficult choices because they're all pretty damn good packs. So there we go. I've got to go and get myself ready, get all my kit ready for tomorrow. A little bit stressed out, I don't know why, but because it's a virtual, so at your own pace, but it's going to be fun. Nice early start. So if you're out there doing your London Marathon tomorrow, good luck, well done, keep it going. And if you're not, just go out for your long run, or you know, if you see some people out there who are running in their charity vests or wearing numbers, give them a shout, give them a cheer, you know what I mean. So hopefully training's going well, keep up the running, and thanks for watching.